ANACS, as you can see, high relief. Okay, high relief palladium coin that we're going to have here. And I have to spend some time with this. The first question I always get on this is, what's palladium? Okay, I mean, what are you talking about palladium? Okay, everybody knows what gold is, precious metal. Now everybody knows what platinum is, really precious metal. Palladium is in the platinum family. It just happens to be like 20 times rarer than platinum. So this is not just a precious metal. I guess that makes this a precious metal. This is one of the rarest regularly occurring precious metals on Earth, and what it comes down to. And as a matter of fact, the coins made by the United States government just in this series, just for this year, represent 10% of the palladium that will be mined on Earth this year. Okay, that's how little palladium there is and how much this coin is. So that's what palladium is. The next question I get: what's the deal with the design? Well, it looks like a Mercury dime, because they in essence redid this with the Mercury design label. Because Adolph Wyman designed the Mercury dime as well as the Walking Liberty half dollar and the Standing Liberty quarter, and it's considered, when the Standing Liberty quarter, they brought back the front of that for the American silver. You'll say, well, let's bring back the Mercury dime. And it's so tiny, they brought it back full size in 1 ounce of pure palladium. Now, they said, what about the reverse design? How about we take the second design from the Walking Liberty half dollar that never got on the coin, but has been in America's archives for over a century, and let's use that for the reverse of the coin. Oh, and by the by, let's do it in ultra high relief so that the eagle literally will fly off this coin that you're going to see right there. It is truly, absolutely stunning. So the coin is gorgeous. It's 1 ounce of pure palladium. Now let's talk about the coin itself. Because what this coin has done is this coin has disrupted the entire numismatic community. It has literally fractured relationships in the numismatic community that have gone back decades. And let me explain to you what I mean by this. When this coin was released by the United States government, they did a palladium coin last year that was a brilliant uncirculated coin. They did it through the authorized purchasers. Each one of the guys got like 1,500 coins. So I'm a big customer though, so I got 300 from this 100 and 500 from this guy. And so we had a bunch of the coins. They only did 15,000. We had like 2,000 of them. Okay, sold them all out. They went crazy, but it was huge. So this year, the United States government doesn't do them through that. They do a proof version. They put them out and sell them directly from the United States Mint, 1 per household. 1 per household. The United States Mint sold these out, 15,000 coins, 1 per household, sold them out in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. They said it's a 5-minute sellout, but I can tell you, if you weren't on your computer 30 seconds in and you weren't filling out your checkout form, you weren't getting a coin. The price on these went up 75% in about 2 hours. And they have continued to do that. And that's where the fracturing comes from. I had contracted with many people, because what happens is you have to literally, you know, if I have like 300 of these or 400 of these and they're perfect, I got to get 600 coins. I have to contract with 600 individual people, in essence, to be able to get 600 coins. It's 1 per household. The government is very strict about that. And there's guys who, you know, they put together 5 coins or 10 coins or 15 coins, and I call them, I said, I'll take all your coins and here's the price. And some of the guys delivered. But a lot of the guys said, no, we're not delivering. I go, what do you mean? And I said, well, the price went up. I said, yeah, but we had a deal. He goes, I don't care. I said, we shook on it. He said, I don't care. I mean, you got to pay me $400 or $500 more a coin. Well, we had no choice. So $39.99.95 was my handshake price to HSN, where I said, this is the price. This is the price we came out at. This was the price we were always going to come out at, even though I had to pay literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars more for every single solitary one of these coins. We still held our $39.99.95 price point, even though the marketplace has gone crazy, even though it's going up $25 a day, $50 a day, $75 a day, because there's only 15,000 coins and about 15 million people that want them. And so what it has done is, and I talked to other people and they said, yes, guys I've done business with for 20 years, reneged on me and said, I will not give you the coins unless you pay me extra. We were literally held hostage for this particular coin. It was absolutely unbelievable, but we held our deal and we held our price. Now, Remember I showed you the NGC coin. I'm going to slide it in there. I had these last week at $39.99.95. I had about 65 coins. We sold every single solitary one of them. It's $4,800, $4,700 right now because I had to go into the marketplace. I bought more of the ANACS coins. I still have a very limited quantity, I believe less than 100 now, of this coin at $39.99.95. Once that sells out, my price will also go up. And I've been following the market. I've already tried to lock some coins in. We're looking at about $43.99, $4,499 for the ANACS coin. So a $400 to $500 price increase once this quantity sells out, and that's an absolute positive guarantee, folks. So you've got rarity, you've got collectability, you've got the intrinsic value of an ounce of pure palladium, high relief, sold out in like 30 seconds from the United States Mint, and what is absolutely positively the hottest coin in the marketplace
What's
today.
the benefit of shopping here at HSN for these coins, you know, versus going out to the market or even, quite honestly, buying them directly from the U.S. government?
Well, you can't because they don't sell certified coins. Yeah. I mean, you can buy uncertified coins, but not anymore.
That's one of the answers,
not anymore,
right?
you can't.
This is already certified.
Yeah, of course, this is already certified. That's the key. Uncertified coins are worth less money. It's just that simple, okay? So what we have with this is the first thing is, as you just mentioned, as of now, you have a return policy till January 31st. Okay, there is no, let me explain something to you. There's nobody right now in the coin industry that is selling this coin for the same price as they were selling it for 3 weeks ago when it came out, except me, okay? We're holding our price, but only for this quantity. And I guarantee there's not a single solitary coin dealer anywhere, regardless of price. Even if they're selling this for $4,000, I saw first day of issue, a PCGS sell for like $8 grand the other day. Do you have a return privilege for January 31st? You don't have a return privilege for October the 2nd, okay? I mean, you buy it, you own it, that's the deal. There's no return privilege traditionally in the coin business, zero, zip, nada. You have an unconditional money-back guarantee here on our holiday return until January 31st of 2019. Folks, that's unheard of. So we give you that comfort. The fact that we have been here selling coins for well over a quarter of a century. The fact that I've been here over 15 years selling the HSN. So when you want something where you have a guarantee like this of a return privilege, someone has to be here to take the return. And if you're buying coins off the internet, look, it's the Wild West out there. You wouldn't believe. I've done this my whole life, and I get stood up. I get coins that are undelivered or not what they're supposed to be on the internet all the time because I'm always checking those things out, and it is the Wild West out there. And if you want to be a coin cowboy, that's your business. But if you want to buy at the guaranteed lowest price, okay? At the guaranteed lowest price that I can do, right here, right now, you want to get a return privilege till January 31st, you want to do all of those things, this is where you buy it, period. If you want and understand, we have these coins, they're in stock. How many people did I try to buy coins from just to see what was out there, and they just said, oh, well, we're just not going to deliver. I said, but you said you had coins. Well, we really didn't have coins. We were hoping the price might go down, or I might be able to do this, but we're not going to deliver. What do you mean you're not going to deliver? And that's what happened. And that's why we had such a difficult time. We had a first day of issue on this. Okay, our first day of issue, 129 coins, that went just like that. I started with 200 of these coins. I had more of these than anybody else on the planet. We're down, I believe, under 100 coins or close to 100 coins is all I have left at $39.99.95. Once those go out, and we will sell them all, then you're looking like this NGC at $43.99, $44.99, $45.99, $4,699. And we'll sell these NGCs at that price. But right now, the ANACS that we have in perfect proof, high relief, guaranteed, lowest price that I can do these at, that you're going to have right there with that incredible high relief. Now's the time. Here's the place.
Well, don't miss it. It's easy to place an order. All you have to do is ask about our item number. We've referenced that we've got our wonderful holiday return policy that gives you until the end of January. I should mention to you that one of the things that we give you is obviously you get your certificate of authenticity, but we're also including for you this beautiful box box. And I want you to take a look at this. I mean, to have a coin like this, you probably want to display it. And so this is beautiful that we're including. This is what we're calling our window display box. So it fits perfectly. Your coin will fit perfectly in the inside. And I love that you do that for us. You know, so this is something that we do on certain coins here at HSN. So it's an opportunity for you to be able to get really one of the most spectacular. I don't own a Palladium coin yet.
Very few people do.
Very few people do. As you've mentioned to us at the very beginning, if you're just tuning in, explain to us once again what Palladium is.
There's 15,000 of these is all that the government made. They sold out in 30 seconds.
Wow.
The price on those doubled within 3 days, okay? That's uncertified, ungraded. My price has stayed exactly the same. I'm the one that
explain to us once again what Palladium is, too.
Palladium's a precious metal. I mean, you have gold, you've got platinum, and within that platinum family, you also have palladium and iridium and rhodium. And people have heard of rhodium as well, because you have rhodium plated jewelry, and usually when you get platinum plated jewelry, it's usually actually rhodium is what it is. It's in the platinum family. This is as well, but this isn't plated. This is one, and it's rarer than rhodium, it's rarer than platinum. Palladium is far rarer than all those, 30 times rarer than gold. And what you've got is a coin that is 1 ounce of pure palladium. So understand the rarity of palladium as well, in the fact, like I said, these 15,000 coins represent 10% of all the palladium ever mined in the whole world this year, folks. So palladium, so you've got the rarest of precious metals. You've got this fantastic design that is the reprised mercury dime, done in proof high relief. It's 1 year only, so it's not like there's going to be one of these proof palladiums next year. Just like last year's was a mint state coin, this is a proof coin. It's a 1 year only. It's a one-off coin. The amazing part is that we were able to get enough of these coins to be able to sell, given the fact when the government originally sold them, it was 1 per household. So we literally had to contract with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of, in essence, individual people, all of which wanted individual money for this, because it was such a complete and total limited edition sellout. We sold out our first day of issue coins here instantaneously. All of you that got those at $39.99.95. Good job on those with that. I still have a few of these left at $39.99.95. I'm down to maybe 20% of our original quantity. Now, after that, the $39.99.95 is off the table. I will sell this coin in the future, and it will be more money. And as a matter of fact, I can guarantee it will be significantly more money.
Wow.
And that is...
So get it now while you can.
Well, when you look at this coin, I had the NGC last week when we sold these. $39.99, same price, $39.99.95. I had, I think, 40 coins last week. Sold every single one of them. This coin... Now, if you look, $46.99.95. Same coin, same grade, same everything.
That's a jump.
But I bought these, you know, before. I bought these, and even though the price jumped up pretty quickly, it has continued to go up. And I locked these in weeks and weeks and weeks ago, finally, and even at my increased price, this is the price I guaranteed I would sell them at before the market went crazy, before it literally destroyed relationships in the marketplace with people who said, we won't sell the coins. I mean, they literally held us hostage, $200 a coin, $300 a coin, $400, in some instances, $500 a coin, beyond what we had guaranteed our prices for, but we guaranteed our price in here. We're living up to it. Once again, this is my handshake price. This is the price I said, yeah, this is the deal I'm going to be able to give you at this point. But the problem is quantity. Folks, we're down to the final quantities, particularly at $39.95. And let me expand on that. I'll sell this coin forever, okay? It is a great coin. It's going to be one of the most historic coins ever done by the United States government. What I'm telling you is next time I sell this coin, once this quantity is gone, it's going to be $300 or $400 or $500 or $600 more money. That's what the issue is. Understand, this is a sold-out limited edition coin. The government only did 15,000 coins. They sold out in 30 seconds. Secondary market takes over immediately. Only a very few of those coins are certified absolutely, positively perfect. So 15,000 is the whole universe. Perfect coins come in down here like this, and all of a sudden, now you have this. Perfect coins are down here. That's why they bring so much extra money. That's why everybody in the industry is struggling mightily to try to get these coins like this. It's why the price on these, unfortunately, from the original issue price, uncertified and ungraded from the United States government, is well more than doubled at this point. And that's if you can find any coins at all. And that's assuming those coins, because you can take the coins, grade them, and you can put them back in the capsule. Those are assuming they aren't grading rejects at this point. Okay, that's why I tend not to sell coins in the original government packaging, because, you know, it's hard to be guaranteed, unless I bought them originally from the United States government, that I can guarantee they are fresh, ungraded coins. Because once these coins are graded and you don't get mint state 70 or proof 70, then, you know, then they try to pass them off, that they've already been through the process. This you don't have to worry about, that you are guaranteed an absolutely positively perfect coin at my absolute positive lowest price, but only for the quantities that we have got left. After that, once again, guaranteed prices are going up. 1 ounce pure palladium, like you said, one of the most precious of all the metals out there, rarer than platinum, rarer than rhodium, well rarer than gold. With a design that's over 100 years old, Adolph Wyman. This was the second place design for the back of the Walking Liberty $50 in 1916. Of course, in 1916, they released the Mercury dime as well. And they reprised it on this coin in pure palladium. It'll be the only palladium proof high relief coin that the United States government ever does. It sold out in 30 seconds. Now is the time, here's the place, this is the price. Folks, I understand at $39.95 it's not for everybody. I understand that. But understand, if you're a coin collector, if you just do collectibles at all, and you want rarity and collectability with a backdrop of intrinsic value, the fact this is not plated in palladium, this is pure palladium. You have a coin that is the single hottest coin in the marketplace today, bar none. Literally, most of the other things I've been selling for the last 2 weeks, I've had them because of this coin. Because dealers are dumping stuff they've had for years. I mean, good coins at reduced prices, because they have to have money to try to get some of these. And the longer they wait, the more the price goes up. And what they do is they have got a difficult time. So I have like the 1881S's. I bought a bag of 1881S Morgan dollars because the guy needed palladium money. I got some Susan B. Anthony dollars coming up here. But I got those because the guy needed palladium money. Everybody needs palladium money right now. We already have ours. We have our coins. They're in stock. They're ready to ship. They're guaranteed. And I'm telling you this right here, right now, folks. With the extended return, nobody else on the planet is doing that.
I was shocked.
January 31st, and I didn't realize that we kicked this in today, January 31st on the return. So, folks, if this isn't the greatest coin deal you've ever got, you have until January 31st to send it back.
It's 120 days.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And if it follows suit to like the palladiums from last year, I'm hoping you send it back on January 31st, because I'll be about $5,499 by then.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think you make a really wonderful point, because, you know, if we don't know what's going to happen, we can't predict the future.
No, I can't predict the future.
But we do know that this coin last week was $399.99.
Same price.
Same price. And now, a week later, it's $700 more.
Right.
All right?
That I know.
But here's the thing. Keep an eye on this. You get this today.
Well, and I know
you've got until the end of January to see what will happen.
And here's this thing. I've already priced, and like I said, well, the remaining quantity I'm sure is somewhere between 6 and 8 dozen, roughly. Okay, is all that I have left of this coin. I know what the next price is going to be, because I've committed to 30 new coins. That's all I could find. And I know that price for those 30 coins is going to be about $44.99.95. So you're looking at about a $500 increase if we get past that 6 or 8 dozen of these coins that are left. That's all that there is. When. And that's exactly the case, because that's what has happened with these. They've sold pretty dramatically. I sold these last night, and we sold a nice quantity of these. Just during the course of the day, we sold 10 coins. I mean, not during the show. I'm talking about just on hsn.com between, 2 a.m. this morning and when this show came on at 8 p.m., we sold like another 10 coins of this just by people going to hsn.com and doing this. And that's what happens as people understand the rarity, the collectability, the desirability of this fantastic, amazing palladium coin. The rarity, the fact that it's still at my original issue price, the fact that it's a 30-second sellout, the fact that I'm honoring my original handshake price, but only for the remaining coins, and people will continue to, and I can't shut that off of hsn.com. This is quite likely the final primetime presentation that I can do this at $39.99.95. Like I said, With any luck at all, I'll be selling this coin in 5 years here, and it's going to be, but it's not going to be $39.99.95. That I can tell you. You're looking at something significantly up the line from that. The next batch after this, I know, is going to be $44.99.95. So get yours now while it's still available. It's still affordable. It's still guaranteed my lowest price that I have or will sell this coin for. It is that important. It is that impressive. It is that disruptive. It is that collectible.
Well, we want to thank you so much for your phone calls. Don't miss it. And don't forget how easy it is to shop with us. You can go onto our website, as we've referenced, at hsn.com, or you can feel more than welcome with calling our toll-free 800 number. And please, at some point, download our free app to your mobile platforms, your smartphones, and your tablets, of course. So you are going to show us once again.
Just going to give you this.